Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just welcome in all our social media platforms. Make sure we are good to go. All right, we are good to go. So, welcome to episode number 258 of the Sonya Dungee podcast, Living with Purpose After Rediscovering Your Identity. This episode is being sponsored to you by Always Destined for Greatness, B Lips, and Drip City Customs, LLC. Tonight, before we dive into our conversation, I want a moment of connection with you. Please let us know the geographical area in which you are tuning in from tonight. It brings us comfort knowing how far Sonya Dungee podcast reaches, sharing a safe space. Sorry about that. If real value is delivered, please indicate it in the chat during the course of this podcast. Knowing how these tips and conversations land with you is so important to us. Your feedback ensures we're providing a support space and we are walking together down the path of healing. So, in tonight's episode, we are going to talk about living with purpose and rediscovering identity. So, let's begin, shall we? There comes a moment in your healing journey when you stop asking, "Who am I?" And you begin asking yourself, now that I have begun to find myself, what am I going to do with the life that still is in front of me? Because I have more life in front of me than I do behind me. Rediscovering your identity, it's a beautiful milestone. Indeed, it is. But living with purpose is where transformation truly begins. So tonight, you will be receiving 5 powerful steps to help you move from surviving to living with intention, with confidence, and with purpose. We're going to talk about embracing the woman you are today, making decisions that align with your new identity, turning your pain into purpose, building the life you deserve, and living a life that honors your parents' legacy while embracing your own future. If you've ever wondered what comes after healing, this conversation is for you. If you know someone who has lost a parent, struggled to rediscover themselves, or is searching for purpose after loss, please share this or the podcast replay with them afterwards. So we're going to move right into step number 1. And step number 1 is accept the woman that you are today. You're no longer the woman you were before the loss. And that's perfectly okay. You see, grief changed you. Life changed you. We acknowledge that. But stop trying to become who you were before the loss, what you used to be. Begin embracing the woman that you are becoming. And I know it sounds a lot easier to say than to do, but it has to start, and it can start today. Ask yourself this: am I still holding on to the woman I was, or am I embracing the woman that I am becoming? So let me give you some examples. So you may no longer maybe enjoy the same things that you once did, okay? But instead, Instead of those feelings of guilt for the change, give yourself permission to discover new passions, new interests, a new version of yourself. Pursue your goals and dreams. Take them off that back burner. Step number 2. Make decisions that reflect your new identity. Your identity isn't just discovered, didn't just pop out of nowhere. It's lived out through your daily choices. Okay? It's lived out through your daily choices. Purpose begins with one decision at a time. Choose what aligns best with your healing and not with your fears. And in that, ask yourself, does the life that I'm living today reflect the woman I say I wish to become? And if I were you, I would get some pen and some paper, because you're going to want to write some of these down. So let me give you an example. Instead of saying, oh, maybe one day I'll travel, fulfill some of the things on my bucket list, just book the trip. Just do it. Instead of waiting for the confidence, apply for that promotion that you so richly deserve. Apply for the business that you've always wanted. Apply for the paperwork. Get your EIN number. Reach out to the IRS. Do whatever it is that you need to do. But start your business. Or enroll to an online course that you've been wanting to take. Start somewhere. You see, purpose grows when action replaces hesitation. Now, I'm going to say that again for those of you who are writing this down. Purpose grows when action replaces hesitation. And I just don't want to leave anybody out, because as we know, some social media platforms, when the podcast is over, it's over. And I don't always see the comments, and I don't want to leave anybody out intentionally. So welcome, Georgia. I see you. Great topic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here as always. And let me just hop on over. We have Miami. Thank you so much for joining. Harlem as well. Yes, discover the new you for sure. I'm glad you love it. Yes, I was thinking the same. We have a viewer that says, just do it like Nike. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just let go and just do that thing. All right. So step 3 is let your pain become your purpose. And Tampa, I see you. We actually have my mentor, family, and friend, Mr. Darren Walker. Thank you so much for joining. Because of you and you allowing for God to be that vessel, I'm one of the reasons why I sit here today. So I want to acknowledge you and I want to appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. So moving on to step number 3. When I say let your pain be your purpose, I'm going to just take this opportunity right here and stop momentarily. And I want to share briefly with you my story of pain that I turned into purpose with God's will. So I have a story to tell as well. And my story started over 5 years ago, back during the height of the pandemic on January 23rd of 2021. In a nutshell, totally out of left field, a medical professional sat my dad down and I in this little obscure room and let us know that 6 months to live. And without hesitation, keeping that poker face on, I said, if it's meant to be 6 months, it's going to be those best 6 months possible. And I started in my head making all these preparations, getting in contact with my siblings to make those 6 months be the very best. Well, it turned out that God had a different plan. And I found myself less than 48 hours at my dad's bedside, that same VA hospital, giving my dad his final goodbyes. And as I held reluctantly to his hand, because my denial was, if I'm not there and if I'm not sitting there, if I'm not in that hospital, if I'm not holding his hand, if I'm not looking at him, it's not going to happen. But it did. And so while I held on to my dad's hand, and I looked at him and I noticed a tear came rolling down his cheek. And it was in that moment he took his last breath here on this earth. And his first breath in heaven. Almost instantly, I spiraled out of control. I became isolated and stuck in grief. And that's where I remained for 342 days before I did anything about trying to move forward. And I don't always use that word trying, but something like that in this instance, it was trying. Because it got to a point where I was so secluded, I didn't even realize it was an intentional thing. I just didn't tell my family how I was really feeling because I didn't want them to have to grieve any more than I felt that they were already. And I thought I was being selfless in the process. The weight fell off and I didn't realize it. I was running back and forth to Calverton National Cemetery to feel a sense of closeness where my dad's remains are entombed behind the Calabarium wall. I worked from home, so it was bare survival, doing the least amount to get by day after day. But when enough became enough, and I realized that I couldn't continue down that path, it wasn't conducive to my mental, my physical, or my social well-being. It wasn't me, and it wasn't anything that my dad would have expected of me. I made that conscious decision to move forward. And in that, I gained a mentor. Yes, I had to invest in myself. And I met with him. And he told me if I was coachable, if I was teachable, if I showed up, if I did the work, he would help me. And I did just that because I wanted it more than anything else. Because I knew my life was purposeful. I knew that God had me here. I knew I wasn't the one that passed away. And with that came a loving and supportive community of uplifting, supportive people who were there even when they didn't know they were there for me. And as a result of that, being coachable and teachable and showing up and doing the work and pouring into myself as well, and leaning on my faith and Proverbs 3, 5, 6ing it every day, all day, I am now a parental grief life coach. And I get to help women in their early 30s to mid 50s that are navigating their way through grief and are looking for the direction because they're ready and willing and able to move forward and they just don't know how. I get to help them to rediscover their identity and help them reclaim their emotional safety and help rebuild their confidence so that they can step boldly into their God-given purpose, so that they can truly be destined for their greatness. So I share that with you to tell you that I too have a story. And that's how I was able to turn my pain into purpose. So now I'm going to share with you step number 3. And in that, the hardest chapters of your life, they often become the most powerful parts of your story. as I just shared my story with you. You see, your pain has given you the compassion, as it did me. Your grief has given you wisdom, far more than you can imagine. Allow those experiences to help someone else. Ask yourself this very thought-provoking question. And you know me, I bring them to you every week. I'm giving you those thought-provoking questions because these are questions that you have to ask yourself that only you can truly identify and have the answer to. Who could benefit? Who could benefit from the lessons I've learned through my healing journey? Maybe it's encouraging another navigating through paternal loss. Maybe it's volunteering your time at a local church or youth service. Maybe it's as simple as spending time with someone who is feeling alone. You see, sometimes your greatest purpose begins with one very honest conversation. Step number 4. Create the life that you truly deserve. Healing gives you permission to dream again. Don't allow guilt to keep you from experiencing joy again, because it kept me down for a while. Because every time I found a pocket of joy, something my dad had said that resonated and I thought about at the moment, or something that I saw, something that somebody else said, and I found myself joyful, I would pull back and be like, who's watching? Oh my goodness, I can't do this. Like, why am I happy for the moment? Why am I displaying joy? I can't do that. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be grieving. No. You deserve to laugh. You deserve to celebrate. You deserve to travel. You deserve to love and feel loved. You deserve to create new memories. Your future is not destroyed. It's your past, yes. It's a chapter, yes. But here is a supreme thought-provoking question to ask yourself, which requires you to really think about it, to sit in it for a while before even answering it. And a matter of fact, if you haven't already, this would be a good time to go grab pen and paper, because it's something that you really want to write down, because you're going to want to revisit it over and over again. And I'll repeat it. But the question is, if fear, guilt, and grief no longer controlled my decisions, what kind of life would I create? I'm going to repeat it again. If fear, guilt, and grief no longer controlled my decisions, what kind of life could I create? Let me give you a couple of examples. We talked about vacations. We talked about travel. Take that vacation you've been putting on the back burner for far too long. And I'm talking from experience. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about what I had to do, because, you see, I love to travel. But once my dad went to be with the Lord, I shut it down. And I was due to travel the next month. I didn't want to go. It was my sister, Rosalinda, who had a conversation with me and said, Sonya, go. Papa would have wanted you to go. Because you know what? My dad had the same conversation with her when our mama passed. She shared with me that she was going, I believe it was to St. Thomas, and she didn't want to go. She was feeling some kind of way, and my dad sat her down and told her to go. And so she went. And so I went. But she shared with me something that really meant a lot, and I carried that and I thought about it and I used it. She said, when you're feeling some kind of way, in a nutshell, I'll tell you, she said, just take a moment, go have your private moment and go back. And I had a lot of private moments during the course of those couple of days. I went behind closed doors, did what I had to do, cried, and everything came back. But you know what? I was there with a community of my friends that were supportive. And one of the other girls, one of my friends that was with me, her dad was getting ready to transition. And so her and I bonded. And I walked away from that trip feeling so much better, like that I it was meant for me to be there, to be supportive of her and her to support me and my friends be there as well. And so I went. And so I shared that with you as well. Another is celebrate your birthday with friends and family. And I know that could be difficult because celebration is the last thing that you feel that you should be doing. But celebrate with your friends and your family. That's what your parent would have wanted. That's what they did with you. Go back to school, pursue your educational goals if that's what you want to do. And you put on that back burner, bring it to the forefront and do it. Write that book. Start saying yes to life again. You've been postponing it for far too long. And I truly hope that you are experiencing value from this, a breakthrough, an aha moment, even being able to relate. And if so, please let me know in the chat because it means so much to me. Step number 5, live. Live a life that honors your parents' legacy. You see, one of the greatest ways to honor your parent isn't by staying stuck in grief, as I did for those 342 days and really beyond. The greatest way to honor your parent is by living the values that they instilled in you. Carry their kindness, their resilience, their faith, their love. Let their legacy live through the way that you choose to live your life. And ask yourself, when people look at my life, what part of my parents' legacy do they see through me? Is it compassionate? Is it compassion from a parent? Or is it integrity? Like I walk from my dad? If they taught perseverance, make it a point to keep moving forward when life gets hard. Squeeze those darn lemons. Make the best tasting lemonade if ever there was. Their end of life did not end their influence. It continues to live on in and through you. Going back. Thank you, Texas, for joining. I appreciate you. Live, honor, parents' legacy. Love this. Yes. Yes, lemonade. And I'm glad that you're receiving value as well. I love it. Taking moments really helped. Absolutely. You're getting massive value. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, my mentor. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. I love and appreciate you all. These comments are so much appreciated. Yes. celebrating, being supported, and supporting. It's called community. Absolutely. And I love my community. Certainly lots of thanks. Thank you so much for joining it. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm reading your comment. Certainly lots to be thankful about. And I'm very proud that you are taking that walk forward. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So in closing, it's about that time. My boss, warrior queens, and even kings, finding your identity is only the beginning. Now, now it's time to live it. Walk boldly, love freely, dream fearlessly, lead confidently. Because you see, the woman that you're becoming isn't just surviving anymore. Oh no. She's living with purpose. And always remember this: your identity was never lost. It was there in the shadows of grief, just waiting patiently. And now that you found her, get out there and introduce her to the world. You can and you will. You will always be destined for greatness. Your greatness, your very best, not to be compared, your beginning with somebody else's middle. Let's continue this journey together in the Boss Warrior Queen Masterclass. Okay? The Woman in the Mirror series, becoming the woman that you were meant to be, in 5 crucial steps. Wednesday, September the 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You see, because finding yourself is only the beginning. Living with purpose is the next chapter. So you can either comment or you can DM me, Living with Purpose, and I will send you the registration link. Until next time, be safe, stay well. God bless you all, and bye for now.